Hello guys, Merry Christmas, welcome to my top 5 Christmas movies. Of course this is a time for hideous jumpers and eggnog. Now, like a lot of my top 5s everyone, a lot of these films people may not agree with, but this is only the top 5, so the other half of it you don't know. So these top 5 are purely my opinion. So of course if you're going to do a top 5 you've got to start with number 5, which is... Now this movie is a lot higher on other people's lists, but trust me, this is my list, so it gets better. This for me is a combination that shouldn't have worked. Michael Caine and some puppets doing the classic tale of Ebenezer Scrooge. We of course all know and love it. It's the man who hates Christmas, and instead of the ghosts of Christmas past and things being scary and really quite terrifying for Christmas, this does have quite terrifying elements, but it's because it's puppets. It's really clever. I can't help but every time I see it on the TV I go, I'm gonna hate it, and I never do. It's always hilarious. It's Kermit the Frog in a tiny little suit with his little children, with Miss Piggy being talked at by the dude from the Italian Job. I can't really sell it much more than that. A Muppets Christmas Carol really is, in my opinion, one of the 5 classic Christmas movies for me. I love it. It's charming. All the characters are really fun. They have a great take on the classic tale, and of course you can't hate Michael Caine. It's Michael Caine. The Muppets Christmas Carol is my number 5 on this movie, but it's not as good as number 4, which is... Now I was very reluctant to put this movie on my list. My partner is in love with this movie, but every time it comes on the TV, it's always on ITV over here in the UK, you can't get away from it at Christmas. But every time it's on, it's charming, it's sad, it's funny, it's very well written. It's of course the story of about 9 or 10 people's different lives on Christmas Day. You've got the Prime Minister, you've got regular couples, everything. Anything the book can throw at you, they have done it in this movie. Yeah, it is still charming, it's brilliant. I would say though, personally, if I was looking at it from a review standpoint, because it's kind of what I do, Martine McCutcheon is extremely annoying and is not as funny as everyone in the room seems to think she is. Really don't like her in that. A very underplayed performance by Martin Freeman in this movie as well. Brilliant performances by all, and of course you cannot forget the tear-jerking Joni Mitchell scene with the brilliant Emma Thompson and the late great Alan Rickman. Those scenes just, it doesn't ruin a Christmas movie with this extremely sad element to it, and that is such a testament to the writing of this movie. And of course you've got other scenes like they famously did in Red Nose Day last year. Andrew Lincoln, now of Walking Dead fame, with his cue cards to Keira Knightley. All of it really, really, really cute. Extremely touching. One of the most touching films I ever watch. And however much I want to hate it, I just can't, because it is just so... It's just so classic and so brilliant. But there is still 3 more movies on this list. And the third one is... Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan. Step Brothers is number 1 on my top 5 comedies list. That was the first top 5 I ever did. Ugh. God, the terrible editing! And I still love him now. Yes, I think maybe people are right when they say he's kind of gone a little bit Adam Sandler-y, that some of his movies aren't really touching the same sort of league that he was in things like Old School, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, the list goes on. But this movie, well, one of the first from Jon Favreau before he hit huge fame with Iron Man, this thing just is so good for the family, and it's good for adults. There's adult humour in there. This movie makes me laugh all the time. I own it. It's down there somewhere in my collection. It is there. But it's never away from its charm. Will Ferrell is of course good at playing an idiot. He has done his entire life. But how cool is it seeing a 6-foot man in a little tiny shower? It's so cool. These sets are amazing when he is in the North Pole. They do some stop animation in it. Everything they do is almost a nod to every other Christmas film, and I still find that so charming now. I still put it on. It's still as funny as the day I first watched it. It is a Christmas classic in every way. I think all 5 of these movies are. This movie just cements for me why Will Ferrell is so funny, and he doesn't have to be sweary and weird about everything. He can do it all in a very childlike manner, in a very nice way. But 2 more left. Number 2 is, let's just do it. This is a movie that people seem to either really love or really hate. Yes, the writing is very uninspired and very clumsy at times, and some of the characters are hideously annoying. I'm looking at you, the Mayor of Whoville. But the makeup's incredible. Jim Carrey looks amazing, and Jim Carrey, my God, Jim Carrey in this movie. This for me is one of his best performances. Yes, this is the guy who did The Mask, Liar Liar. You know, he did The Truman Show, one of my favourite films of all time. But that doesn't detract from the fact that the man did this in full-on green furry crap and was amazing. So funny. Me and a friend of mine at work still quote The Grinch, and we were doing that in like August. We were quoting things from The Grinch because it's just so funny. His comic timing, we obviously know Jim Carrey's comic timing, but he uses that, like Will Ferrell in my last pick. He can do it without having to be vulgar. He's extremely funny in a childlike way so that everyone can find it hilarious. Personally, don't see the hate behind it. It's so good, but not as good as number 1, which is A Christmas Is Not Complete Without a Visit to the Nakatomi Plaza. Yes, I think a lot of people like, okay, I listen to a podcast called the Empire Film Podcast. Helen O'Hara, who is a woman who is on there a lot, has said that this movie is not a Christmas movie and men think it is and they're being clever. I'm a man, there's a beard, but I still think this is a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas. John McClane makes a Christmas jumper, and we all know what that is. I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. And there's Christmas trees and stuff, so it's definitely a Christmas movie, and you can't have it without John McClane and Hans Gruber. And let's just say, Hans Gruber, the greatest villain of all time, played by the one and only Alan Rickman. This movie encapsulates for me Christmas. It is fun. It is balls to the wall. There is not one part of this movie that is not entertaining, quotable, funny, charming, brilliant. Yeah, I think maybe some of the parts are very stupid, but they almost always say that it is. Shutting all the lights down, they say that's a stupid idea, shutting all the lights off in the Nakatomi Plaza, blah 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 blah. We all know this by now. We all know about friggin' Die Hard, and personally I can't go Christmas without it. That is why it is my number 1 on the list of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. That is my top 5, guys. Die Hard is number 1. Die Hard, Die Hard, Die Hard, Die Hard, Die Hard. So there you have it, guys. There is my top 5 Christmas movies of all time. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you have your own list? Please give it to me in the comments down below. I'd love to tap and reply to you. Yeah, I'd love to know, as always, guys, please. So that is nearly my first year of YouTube, guys. I've loved every video I've done. Of course, I'm nearly done. I have my top 5 best and worst movies of the year still to do. I can't wait for you guys to see those. I've got a lot to say about those, so please stick around for that. I can't wait for next year. I can't wait for what those movies bring. I love doing what I do. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, but before you get rid of me, you know, just pop me off like I wasn't even here, don't forget to press that subscribe button, follow me on all the socials, have a merry, merry Christmas. You'll know the drill, and I'll see you all next year and on the next video.